Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, going to go over the trades that we took from Wednesday to Friday, or most of the trades within that time frame, because I didn't post a video on Thursday, I believe. So we'll go over what we did then. So on the 19th, I'm pretty sure this is right. This is Wednesday, or no, this is Wednesday. I'm not sure if I went over this or not, but pretty much it was very simple. We just played this 0DT cross. Market was neutral at the time, I believe. So we're just playing 10 crossing the 50 SMA. It's very simple stuff, man. 10 went above the 50 on the calls. 50's curling up right around this area right here. That's when we got long, and we got a nice move out of it. Another trade that I did take, I didn't call this one out, but pretty much once I saw this candle starting to get above the 10 SMA, I got in and went long and got paid like 40 points on this on NQ. Obviously, I didn't wait for the whole candle close, because when this during this candle, this 50 ended up turning up super hard, and it looked really good. So I did take a long before it actually closed above, and obviously I got a good entry because this candle ended up ripping a little bit after the fact. I think the contracts were around a little bit around $1 when I entered, because I was pretty much assuming that this was gonna hold above the 10, and if it didn't, I would have exited. But it looked really good because of how the 50 curled up. When the 50 gets a hard curl up, that's kind of when I get more conviction in a trade. That's just when it just looks really nice. So ended up getting a nice move on that on Thursday. On Friday, or no, was that Wednesday? I think that was Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm not sure what we. Oh yeah, on Thursday, this is what we took. So if we go to the Friday contracts here, and we go to the 30-minute. So on Thursday, we ended up playing a reject on puts. And if we look here, what chart was it? Yeah, on the puts. So this was Thursday, I believe, the 19th. Yeah, Thursday. So we ended up getting a massive dump on Thursday off of open pretty much. And there was a put cross you could have taken too. I don't have the screenshot, but the puts ended up crossing on the 0-day chart. And there wasn't a great entry on that, so you may have missed it. If you got an earlier entry, then you would have gotten paid. But kind of just depends the risk on that trade. Obviously wouldn't have been the best if you took an early entry, but this was a trade that I took and I called out inside the Discord. So we ended up pulling into this 50 SMA here right around 10 o'clock, and we caught pretty much the dead bottom on NQ. This we were up 80 points on this thing, I think, in less than 5 minutes. It was a very sniper entry. I took this trade because market's neutral and we're coming into this heavy resistance area on the put side. I don't think we didn't have the 605 puts at the time. I think we had different ones because I may have picked these on Friday. Not exactly sure of the contracts, but it worked out exactly the same. We pulled in this 50 SMA here on the 30-minute, went long because this is a very strong resistance, and the market was neutral, so likely this was going to reject, and it did. We went long at the 50, got a nice bounce, and that was that. So that ended up, I think, marking the bottom pretty much for the day, if I remember. But yeah, that's what we did on Thursday. Friday, man, obviously you guys know the market dropped like crazy, and obviously we caught it. Why? Because when the market moves, the system will catch it. And when we look at this 30-minute chart, look at the puts, man. The 30-minute ended up crossing right here and flipping us bearish. So on Friday when this happened, I mean, there was no bull case at all. If you're trading the system, there's no longs to take, and it keeps you on the right side of the market. So how do we get an entry on this move down? So if we look here on the 0-day chart, this chart went crazy. So if we go to the puts real quick, look at this chart, man. Holy God. This is the days that we live for the system because of how clean this is. So 10 went above, this is a picture perfect entry too you would have gotten. So right here would have been your entry point on this 10-15 candle. So 10's going above the 50, 50's curling up, and this was just such a good setup. I'm going to pull up the picture real quick of what this actually looked like, in real time. So this is what it looked like. This is what the chart looked like. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. The 10's going above the 50 here. This 50 is pretty much already curling up. You could have taken an entry right here, or you would have taken an entry on another candle, during that candle a little bit later on, once we started moving, because it was going to cross anyways. And obviously you saw the move that we got. It was a historic move all the way up in here. I mean, I'm not sure how many, this was definitely over 100 points on this move down. And then obviously if you had runners, you would close it once it breaks this 10 SMA, use the 10 SMA as your trailing stop on a move, and then obviously you could buy this reclaim once we got back above. So once we closed above, you could have went long right here, and sometimes after the reclaim, we'll pull back to this 10 just like we did here, and then get the move. So you know, if you bought this reclaim, you would have gotten absolutely paid. I mean, look at this move. And you could hold this, like your runners, you could hold this until we break the 10, but obviously when we're all the way up here, you know, you probably just exit all of it, because at some point this is most likely going to pull back. Like today, or not today, on Friday, this was just a drastic move, and we just held the 10 SMA pretty much the whole day. And that's why you do use the 10 as your trailing stop to catch bigger moves. You know, there was really no reason to sell this thing, you know, until it broke. But obviously, if you're up like 100 some points on NQ, you're gonna want to lock that in and just, you know, call it a day at that point. But you know, the market on this 0-day chart, the market flipped bearish somewhere in this area, like right down in here. So right on one of these like candles is when that 30-minute 50 ended up curling up, because at one point on this pullback down into the 10, the 50, it was kind of like uncertain of whether we were bullish or not bullish, bearish or still neutral with how the 50 looked. So if we go here on the puts, obviously we got like the curl up eventually, but let's see, I don't know what I'm doing here, but eventually that 50 ended up curling. It's not, you can't really tell from this chart. I may have a screenshot of it. I'm not sure if I do, but pretty much the 50 was in between, like being flat and pointing down a little bit. So we kind of needed a little bit more of a drop to see if that 50 could curl, and then, you know, eventually it did on the next candle open, whatever that was. But Friday, man, was just very textbook. There were so many individual stocks you could have played too. You know, here's one on, what is this? Amazon. This was a trade I actually took. I didn't call it out, but this was, the contracts went over 1,000% on the day. Obviously, I did not hold that whole move. I sold it pretty much, I think, on this 10 a.m. candle. You know, we got the cross, and then right at open, we ended up dipping to this 50 SMA, and look at the move. We held pretty much the 10 the whole day. Very drastic move. If we go to the next one here, they're all pretty much the same type of chart. Which one is this? I don't even know which one. Is this Tesla? I think this is Tesla. Yeah, this is Tesla. 30-minute cross right here on puts, gave a good move. And then we have, I think, a few more here. I mean, this is Snow. Snow gave a nice 50 dip here off of open, reclaimed the 10, got a continuation move. What else we got? What is this? Palantir. This was another nice chart I saw towards the end of the day. We ended up dipping down to this 50 right off of open. It, you know, kind of just danced around here, then reclaimed the 10. I saw one like we were right above this 10 SMA, so you could have honestly shorted this right at the 10, and then we, you know, got a nice move down. These contracts went all the way to 691 from you know, like 4 to 430 a piece. So I mean, really nice move on these contracts. Actually, I think these are the wrong contracts I had. I think they were the 600s, but so the chart pretty much looks the same. Is that the last one we have? One more here, whatever this is coin. Again, we ended up getting back above this 1050 SMA. You could have shorted right here, and very big move down. I mean, obviously, like a bunch of the charts were really good to the downside because SPY flipped bearish. So, you know, when we are trending bearish, you're going to want to look for charts that are, you know, crossing out puts or playing to the downside. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we did throughout the end of the week. And on Friday, it was really, you know, we're finally starting to get some good action, which is great, because the last couple of weeks have just been so terrible. I mean, there really hasn't been much going on before this week, so, you know, it's good to see the action finally come back, and we're getting some really clean moves. So yeah, if you guys want to learn, Discord down below, watch all the YouTube videos, and yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.